Good morning, students. In the last video, we have studied about other mode of nutrition, that is heterotrophic mode of nutrition, in which we have studied about at first the parasitic mode of nutrition. As we can see in this example, the cascata or the amarbail shows the parasitic mode of nutrition and get their nutrient from the host plant. Similarly, the other type of heterotrophic nutrition we have seen in insectivorous plant that eats the insect to fulfill the requirement of the nutrients. Okay, so pitcher plants is a kind of insectivorous plant. After that, we have studied about saprotrophs. Saprotrophs or saprotrophic nutrition is that kind of nutrition in which an organism get their nutrient from the rotten wood or the dead and decaying matter. So the saprotrophic nutrition is what? In which the organism take their nutrient from dead and decaying matter, like fungi on the growing fungi growing on the bread and mushroom growing on the rotten wood. So, for the better understanding of this saprotrophic nutrition, let us watch this video.
Saprotrophic nutrition. Have you seen mushrooms? Can you tell whether it is a plant or an animal? Let's do an activity to study fungi in detail. Leave the pieces of a bread in a moist, warm place for 2 to 3 days. Carefully observe the patches under a magnifying glass. You will see cotton-like threads spread on the bread. These organisms are called fungi. They secrete digestive juices on the dead and decaying matter and convert it into a solution. Then they absorb the nutrients from it. This mode of nutrition is called saprotrophic nutrition.
So, students, hope you understood the topic by the video as well. Now, some organisms live together and share both shelter and nutrients. So, this kind of relationship is called symbiosis. For example, lichens that contain chlorophyll containing partner, that means they will synthesize the food, and fungus. So, lichen and fungus lives together, in which fungus provide shelter, water and mineral to the lichen, and lichen provides food, prepared food to the fungus. So in this way they live with each other in a symbiotic relationship, and this is called symbiosis. So students, now the next topic, that how nutrients are replenished in the soil. So all of us know that when we grow something or some plant, they take up nutrient from the soil so that they can show growth and they can produce carbohydrates, proteins, proteins, vitamins and various other essential nutrients. So in the fields we have seen farmers, they spread manure or fertilizer in the field. Why? Because they want to replenish the nutrients in the soil. Similarly, we have seen gardeners, they use those manure or fertilizer to increase the growth in the plants. So plant absorb those minerals and nutrients from the soil so that they can grow faster. So their amount in the soil keep on declining. Obviously, as we will again and again grow some plant on the soil, they will absorb the nutrient, and the amount of the nutrient in the soil will be declining by the time. So fertilizers and manures, contain nutrients such as nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. Okay, these nutrients need to be added from time to time to enrich the soil. So in most of us, since we are farmers, all of us has seen the bags of NPK. That NPK contains nitrogen, stands for N, and phosphorus stands for P, and that K stands for potassium. Okay students, so now we know why we add NPK to each and every crop we grow. So we can grow plants and keep them healthy if we can fulfill the requirement of nutrient of the plants. So usually crop plants absorb lot of nitrogen and the soil becomes deficient in nitrogen. That is why we see in the bags of NPK 46% nitrogen. That means the main constituent of that fertilizer is nitrogen, because nitrogen is an essential element for the growth that we have studied in the first video. So you learned that though nitrogen gas is available in plenty in the air, plants cannot use it in the manner they use carbon dioxide. Means plants cannot absorb the atmospheric nitrogen directly. Why? Because it is inactive in nature. So they need nitrogen in the soluble form. And how they will be obtaining it naturally? The bacteria, one bacterium is there, it is called rhizobium, which take the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it in a usable form so that plants can use it. But rhizobium cannot make its own food, so it often live in the roots of gram, pea, mung, beans and other legumes and provide them with nitrogen, and in return what he gets, the rhizobium, what he gets food and shelter. So he provides nitrogenous substance or nitrogenous mineral to the plant, and plant provide them food and shelter. So they thus have a symbiotic relationship. So we have seen another kind of symbiotic relationship between the uh, gram, pea, mung, beans, okay, leguminous plants and the rhizobium. So this association is of great significance for the farmers, because if more and more pulses we grow or leguminous pulses we grow, the soil will be rich in nitrogen and we don't have to use again and again the fertilizers like NPK, because they are chemically formed and they are not fit for human consumption for a or in a long run. So they can reduce the use of nitrogenous fertilizer where leguminous plants are grown. So most of the pulses are obtained from leguminous plants. So this is the end of the chapter. So in this chapter we learned that most of the plants are autotrophs. Only a few plants, like we have seen the cascata, is parasitic or saprotrophic, like we have seen the mushrooms. So they derive nutrition from other animal organisms. All animals are categorized as heterotrophs since they dependent on plant or on another animal for food. So can we say that the insectivorous plants are partial heterotrophs? Yes, okay, because they synthesize their food by autotrophic nutrition, as well as they take up insect to fulfill the requirement of nitrogen. So students, now we will be doing our book exercise. So question number 6, fill in the blank. It says green plants are called dash since they synthesizes their own food. So what they will be called? Autotrophs. So here the blank we will fill with autotrophs. Second is the food synthesized by plants is stored as starch. Okay, Since we have seen in our first video that excess amount of food plant store in the form of starch. Third, in photosynthesis, solar energy is absorbed by the pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, so that we have studied. During photosynthesis, plants take in carbon dioxide and releases oxygen gas. So this is the sixth question, or the fill in the blanks. Okay, now name the following: a parasitic plant with yellow, slender and branched stem. This we have seen in parasitic nutrition. It is a hint. So what it will be? Yes, it is cascata. Now, or the amarbeil we can say. Second, a plant that is partially autotrophic. Insectivorous plants are partially autotrophic. In the last topic we have seen just now. The pores through which leaves exchange gases. So they are what? They are stomata. Now, eighth one question, take the correct answer. Cascata is an example of parasite. The plant which traps and feeds on insects is called is pitcher plant. Obviously, Cascata is a parasite. China rose is an autotrophic plant. Rose is an autotrophic plant. So, pitcher plant is the only option. Now we have to match the columns. So, chlorophyll is present in the leaves. Okay, nitrogen is synthesized by the rhizobium. Cascata is a parasite. Animals are heterotrophs. And insect, who eats the insect? Pitcher plant eats the insect. So in this manner we can match them up. Now, true and false. Carbon dioxide is released during photosynthesis. False, obviously, because which gas is released during photosynthesis? It is oxygen. Second, plant which synthesizes their food are called saprotroph. Is it true? No. Okay. What they are called? They are called autotrophs. So it is also false. Now the third one, the product of photosynthesis is not a protein. So it is what? It is true. Why? Because the product of photosynthesis is carbohydrate, not protein. So this one is true. Now fourth one, solar energy is converted into chemical energy during photosynthesis. So it is true that solar energy is converted into chemical energy. So this is also true. Now the 11th one, choose the correct option from the following. Which part of the plants takes in carbon dioxide from air for photosynthesis? So they are what? Stomata, obviously, because leaf vein, petals, root hairs do not contribute in taking in the carbon dioxide. So only stomata is the answer. Choose the correct option from the following. Plants take carbon dioxide from atmosphere mainly through their leaves, obviously. Okay, so this is the book exercise, end of book exercise. So all of you will be doing the book exercise in your fair notebook in a good handwriting, and the question and their answer will be provided to you later. So thank you. This is the end of first